Yeah, me and Nelly were dating. Irv was salty. Irv would not let me come to the studio to record. Irv was telling everyone not to record with me. Why do I want to stay in that situation? How can I stay in that situation?
I want to be with Irv, but then a part of me is like, you know what? I think I've outgrown you.
The women that you're with, you refer to them as scallywags.
In 2007, he came out with a reality show called Gotti's Way. And Gotti's Way was only 2 seasons, but those 2 seasons showed me an intimate view on what it looked like to decouple, what it looked like to attempt to co-parent, the differences between what a mother felt that the family needed and what she needed as an individual, and what the father thought he needed to do to be a...
Irv Gotti's personal life has been a topic of discussion for years, and now his ex-wife, Deb Lorenzo, is finally speaking out about her side of the story. People have often criticized Irv for the way he treated his family, and according to Deb, his obsession with Ashanti played a huge role in tearing their marriage apart. Irv has never been shy about talking about Ashanti. In countless interviews, he has brought up their so-called relationship, even when no one asked. His frustration became even more obvious when Ashanti completely ignored him and refused to work with him again. This rejection seemed to push him even further into bitterness, which, according to Deb, had a huge impact on their marriage. She claims his attitude toward Ashanti spilled over into their relationship in ways that made their home life unbearable. Despite her efforts to keep their family together, she says she paid a heavy price for loving him. Deb and Irv's divorce was finalized in 2013 after being together for a decade. Many people had questioned why she stayed with him for so long, considering how he treated her. He wasn't just unfaithful, he also disrespected her openly, even in front of their children. He would mock her education and even told their daughter that she should aim to be better than her own mother. However, according to Deb, things weren't always that way. When they got married in 2003, she knew he had a demanding career and expected him to be constantly traveling, signing deals, and making money. She was prepared to stay home and take care of their children while he focused on his business. What she didn't expect was the endless cycle of women coming in and out of his life. To make matters worse, Irv never saw anything wrong with it. He acted as if Deb was crazy for it.
There's no boundaries, like he comes, we're there, we're available. He's living 2 lives, and for me it doesn't make sense.
You have found that woman. It might not have lasted, but you have found...
She's definitely a special one, but she wasn't special enough.
Expecting to be the only woman in his life, as if loyalty and respect didn't apply to him. Their relationship was completely dysfunctional. The public even got a glimpse of it when their reality show, Gotti's Way, aired in 2007. The show made it clear that their marriage was rocky, but Deb still held on, believing that he might change. She had tried to leave him before, but every time she considered divorce, she thought about their children. Their eldest child, Sonny, especially didn't want his parents to split. Despite everything, Deb acknowledged that Irv was a great father to their kids. He had even adopted her daughter as his own and never treated her differently from his biological children. Her daughter didn't even know that Irv wasn't her real father until she heard it from someone outside their home. Even then, he made sure their bond remained the same. Although he was always traveling for work, he prioritized being home on the weekends. He would spend time with the kids, attend school events, and do all the things that a loving father would do. However, this also gave Deb false hope. Each time he came home, she convinced herself that maybe their marriage could be saved, that maybe things would get better. As for the other women, they came and went. Irv's affairs were an open secret, but he never saw them as a problem. He thought his behavior was justified, and Deb was just supposed to accept it. Now, with Deb finally opening up about her experience, many people are wondering if a documentary about Irv Gotti...
But we were separated when they were dating. I was used to it from the beginning, like him going and traveling. I just wasn't used to the women. That was like new, like, where did these hoes come from?
You know, I think...
You wanted people to forgive you when you do stuff?
Don't talk about the cheat. I'm a good chip off the old block, aside from the infidelities. You know, in my crazy mind, I thought that was life. This is my wife, this is my family, but this bitch is...
His life, especially the damage he caused within his family, is on the way. If it does happen, it will certainly be eye-opening. giving the world a closer look at the man behind the music and the choices that led to his downfall in his personal life. Irv Gotti's ex-wife is finally speaking out, and people are wondering if there's going to be a documentary about her side of the story. For years, Irv has talked about his so-called relationship with Ashanti in countless interviews. He kept bringing her up, even when she clearly wanted nothing to do with him. She ignored him and refused to work with him again, which only made him angrier. Now, Deb is revealing that his obsession with Ashanti didn't just affect his public image, it tore their family apart. And according to her, she paid a heavy price for trying to keep their marriage together. Irv and Deb Lorenzo were married for 10 years before getting divorced in 2013. People often wondered why Deb stayed with him for so long when he treated her so badly. He didn't just disrespect her in private, he did it openly, even in front of their kids. He mocked her education, made her feel small, and even compared her to their daughter, saying their child should aim to be better than her. But Deb says things weren't always like that. When she first married Irv in 2003, she knew he would be busy with work, signing deals, and making money. She accepted that her role was to take care of their home and children. What she didn't expect was the constant stream of women coming in and out of his life. And the worst part? He didn't even think he was doing anything wrong. In his mind, she was crazy for believing she could be the only woman he needed. Their relationship was dysfunctional, and the world got a glimpse of it when their reality show, Gotti's Way, aired in 2007. But despite everything, Deb kept hoping he would change. She actually tried to leave him when she first found out about his affairs, but she had children to think about. Their eldest, Sonny, didn't want them to split up.
Why is it that if a man gets married, a man and woman get married, if they're separated, they're not gonna be together. They're not staying together. I can't go mess with other girls until I sign a divorce paper? Why? Why?
No, yes, you can.
Irv, for all his flaws, was a good father to their kids. He had even adopted Deb's daughter as his own, treating her no differently than his biological children. In fact, Deb's daughter didn't even know Irv wasn't her real dad until she overheard it outside their home. And despite his busy career, he made sure to be home on weekends, spending time with the kids, attending school events, and doing what a dad should do. But here's where things got messy. While his dedication to the kids gave Deb hope that their marriage might be fixable, it also created a cycle of false expectations. Every time he came home, she believed
wear these juicy sweats and her ass was looking fat. Her ass was looking great. So one day, I was like, yo, I'll take you home. She said, bet, cool. I walk her to her front door of her crib. She turns to say goodbye. And I just kiss her and grab her ass.
they could rebuild their relationship. But during the week, he was gone, physically and emotionally. At first, there wasn't one specific woman he was obsessed with. That changed when Ashanti came into the picture. She became the star of Murder, Inc., topping the charts, landing brand deals, and bringing in money. Irv couldn't stop talking about her. Meanwhile, Deb was left at home, raising the kids alone. He started spending more time at the studio and less time at home. He became more of a weekend dad instead of an equal partner in parenting. Then rumors started spreading that Irv and Ashanti weren't just business partners. People began suspecting there was something more going on. When he went on the Wendy Williams show, he denied that Ashanti was a homewrecker. He insisted they only got together after he and Deb had already separated. But Deb's version of events tells a different story. According to her, their marriage only started falling apart when Irv and Ashanti got too close. Things got even worse when Ashanti moved on with Nelly. Irv couldn't handle it. He was never able to get over her leaving him. And since Ashanti refused to acknowledge him, he started taking his frustrations out on Deb. He became even more disrespectful, not caring if their kids were around to witness it. It was as if Deb became his emotional punching bag. To make matters worse, Deb and the kids relied on him financially. She didn't have a stable job or enough money to move out and start fresh, and Irv knew it. He used that power to his advantage. Before, Irv publicly confirmed that he and Ashanti had been together. People speculated that she was involved with Ja Rule or someone else in the industry.
It's the fear and can I survive on my own? I feel stuck a little bit. and I've been like this for a while. I stayed this long because I was afraid. You know, when we first separated, I really thought, you know, Irv would come back home. I thought we would work things out. And then as time goes on, you see it's not.
But once he admitted it on a massive platform, it was like he had opened the floodgates. He started bragging about other women he had been with, including Kareen's superhead Steffens, claiming he had given her the infamous nickname. He made it clear he felt entitled to cheat because, in his eyes, that was just part of the game. It was one thing for Deb to deal with his infidelities when they were somewhat private. But now he was putting everything out there for the world to see, not even caring how it affected their family. That was when she knew it was time to walk away for good. She packed her things, left, and never looked back. And honestly,
records. You know what I'm saying? Like, she wrote them, but she wrote them with the help of me telling her what to write. And all of y'all, whoever knows me, I don't lie. I'm not a liar. I'm gonna spritz it up and jazz it up. Is this the camera?
Yes.
Ashanti, you cannot spritz it up. You cannot jazz it up. The minute you put some spritzy and jazz it up, it's not a cover. So when it's not a cover, now...
That was the best decision she ever made. Meanwhile, Irv kept running his mouth. Even at 48, he was still talking about how he wanted a woman who would let him do whatever he wanted while raising his kids. And his obsession with Ashanti never faded, even years later. Now, with Deb finally telling her truth, people are looking at Irv differently. Some are saying it's crazy how he managed to win $1 million money laundering case against the feds, but instead of telling that story, he'd rather talk about sleeping with Ashanti 20 years ago. Others are pointing out the irony of him, doing interview after interview about her when she has never even mentioned his name. It just goes to show that emotional men can be just as dramatic, if not more, than the women they criticize. He spent years bringing up a woman who had long since moved on and never spoke about him publicly. And now that Deb is coming forward, people are finally starting to piece together just how messy things really were. What do you think about all of this? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe because you know the drama never stops. See you in the next video.